Like if you create a model and you stick to it and you're consistent with your message and your branding, you give people something to count on and they stick around.
Hey Tristan, welcome back.
This month, let's make it super easy. Started doing what we're doing.
Do you bring a lot of that authenticity into your socials? And by the way, everyone, she's with Keller Williams. We have a theme here, right? We're trying to bring in everyone. We're not just one brokerage. So we had Real, Century 21. Now we have Keller Williams. Rachel, do you bring a lot of that authenticity into your socials?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think in the beginning, I didn't like, I was self-taught for social. And so when I got on, I feel like people didn't really like, I thought that I had to have like the perfect job, the perfect life, the perfect car, the perfect hair. Like, I just thought I had to have this image of perfection because that's what people wanted. But reality was, I had gotten a divorce I'd never dealt with. I was putting everybody's needs in front of my own. Like, yes, I was speaking on stages and all the things, but like, I was super inauthentic. It got to a point where I actually got called out mid-interview. At the time, it was the CEO of Keller Williams' wife. And literally, there was 3 of us that were flown out to do this interview, Tim Heil, me, and someone else. And it was called Young and Killing It. And I'm doing the interview and I'm used to everyone being like, tell me about your success. And I'm like, well, I did this and this and this. And literally mid-interview, Nina Heller stops it and goes, guys, can you step outside, like the camera crew? And I'm in Gary Keller's like gym, sitting on his bench. And she said, what's really going on? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, what's going on? And I was like, and like color James, I'm like, I don't know what you mean. And she's like, I don't know if what you say you're doing, you're fully doing. And I just like burst into tears. And I was like, honestly, I got a divorce and I've worked so hard to do everything for everyone else that I don't even know who I am anymore. And I am like, I don't even know my last client because I'm so focused on getting the new business. And I was like, I think like I'm 20, I would think I was like 28 or something, but I was like, I think I need to do things differently. And it was a life-changing moment for me. And I realized that I had an opportunity to really be real, not only with other people, but also with myself. And so it sounds crazy, but I literally went on social media and I made a post because I had gained a following by this point, right? And I said, hey guys, I have to be super honest with you because I haven't been. I got a divorce. And I thought that if I told you that, none of you would want to work with me because nobody would want to work with a divorced realtor, limiting belief, right? Yeah. And I just like, I spilled it and I was like, I haven't been doing well. And so I am going to go on this journey of self-discovery. I'm going to take you guys with me. And I just like poured it out there. And it was so insane because I thought I was going to get a lot of judgment, but all I got was like love and acceptance, because reality is everybody out there wants you to live your best life. They do. Like, I want everyone I know to live their best life. Why would they not want the same for me? And so I decided that I was totally going to shift everything and like live my life with 2 words, which was authenticity, like truly who I am as a person, and intention. Authenticity and intention. So it was like intention in everything I did. And so then, I went on this journey of self-discovery for like 3 years and, did all the work. My business totally blew up. My social media blew up. We had like 131 referrals come through social media last year through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I'm like,
when was that aha moment when they pulled you over on stage and all that? What year was that?
2015.
Wow. That's nuts.
Yeah, it was so gnarly. And they didn't let me do the interview because they were like, it's not authentic, which I was so embarrassed about. And I turned 30 like the next 2 days later. And I remember being like, okay, 30 years old, what does the rest of my life look like? How am I going to lead this? And I honestly think so those of you who know me on social know my husband, Ryan, like I honestly feel like he is the reward of all my hard work I did on myself, because I became the kind of person to attract somebody like him. And, I'm very open on my social media about my life and our fertility struggles and like all the things that have happened. And people work with people they like. Right. And they like you, but they want to know who you are. They want to know what makes you tick. They want to know like the behind the scenes, and you just get to choose what you share. And it's been a pretty crazy journey.
I love that you're saying all of this because, so many people are so scared of sharing. Everybody thinks that needs to be a highlight reel. And in reality, that's completely off, because you're now, when you're sharing when your strategy is business or highlight reel, you are just blending in with the masses. But where you actually differentiate and attract your tribe, as we say, that's when, you got to get humble, and you let people behind the scenes a little bit. And you said it. I was afraid people were going to judge. They actually came to love you. And real quick, before we let you keep going, Sherry had a comment earlier where she had asked, I'm afraid, or I get that comment, somebody saying I'm fat, or somebody just really in general trolling you. And that is a part of this, but it's going to be a very small part of this. And you can't let that fear scare you away, because there's always going to be a troll trying to cut you down. Namely, usually it's the people closest to you or your competition, one of two. And you just got to look past it. You got to move past it. You've got to kind of build that strength up and realize actually trolls really only help your algorithm, because it allows you the opportunity to respond with kindness and let all your lovers come and defend you. So Rachel, I'll let you keep on going, because I love where you're going with this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think too, like as far as the troll thing, like I kind of knew the bigger I got on social, the more like haters I would have out there. And I have people call me out for a weird thing. Like someone's like, "Oh, I'm sure your belly button's real." I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, I don't get it. And and then like when Brian and I were getting married, I believe in being proactive, not only in like my real estate business, but my life too, my marriage. So we went to a pre-marriage retreat, and this woman like sent me a private message. She was like, "How dare you?" She's like, "There are some of us out here with real problems. Why would you don't need anybody." And I was like, okay, have a good day. Like it's so interesting because like, so I started my business door knocking and doing open houses, right? I knocked 200 doors a week. I did 3 open houses a week every single day. So knocking 200 doors, 3 open houses. And I didn't sell any homes the first 4 months. So that's a lot of rejection you face. That's a lot of like questioning if this is the right industry, right? But the thing was, I didn't like where I was at in my life, and I knew I needed a change. And so I made my why I was continuing to work so hard bigger than any excuse I could come up with. Like, did I want to knock every day? No. Did I want to keep getting rejected? No. But I thought of my business like a toy car, right? So here's me, and I'm like doing the right thing. Nothing happened, no momentum, or nothing was like going, but the momentum was building. As soon as I let go, like the car took off. And then that's how I feel about my career. And I loved the belly to belly conversation. So for me, I was like, how can I continue to do this on a grander scale? Like, what does this actually look like? And that's when I decided I was going to dig into social media. And everybody, I was 26 when I got in, and everyone's like, you guys are like used car salesmen, you're slimy. And I thought, well, why do they think that about us? Like, and I realized it was because so many realtors were like, how much money they could make, how many houses they could sell. I was like, but this is also about people trusting us with the biggest financial decision they'll ever make. So I was like, how many families can I help? And I decided when I got on social, I was going to add value every single time I got on, every single time. And so I, and I realized too, with social media, you're either doing one of two things, right? You're either educating people or you're entertaining them. You're educating or entertaining. And I wanted my platform to be a balance of both. So the first thing I did, because I was like, man, if all I do is talk about real estate, I'm going to get deleted and blocked, because I should, because that's what I do. It's not who I am. So the first thing I did is I'm like, I'm going to create an entire business model around social media. And I did. I created like an 8-step process of like how I built my business. We now run 4 different businesses, real estate 7-figure, but then we have 3 other 6-figure businesses, and all are through social. And it doesn't matter if you're selling socks, you're selling houses, or you're selling, shampoo. Like if you create a model and you stick to it and you're consistent with your message and your branding, you give people something to count on and they stick around.